But then again, Olujuwan is a cheater himself. So hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Nelly V. Hope y'all are doing well. As you can tell by the title, we are reviewing Married at First Sight season 14. Now, I have been on a bit of a hiatus from Married at First Sight. If you look at old videos on my channel, I did a couple videos for season 11 when they were in New Orleans. I reviewed all of season 12, which is the season in Atlanta, the train wreck Chris and Paige season. Y'all already know. I'll link those videos in the description box if there's anybody who's like new to the series, who's catching up on old seasons or whatever. But basically after that season, it was so emotionally draining that I was like, I'm not watching the last season, the season 13. I think they were in Houston. I took a break because it was too much going on. And I was like, yeah, after the emotional roller coaster, y'all not gonna see me. But, you know, and I'm actually really glad I did because none of the couples even stayed together. 0 out of 5 couples stay together. So I'm like, y'all wasting people's time at this point, you know? So, yeah, I was like, I'm not watching. But this year, I was watching the matchmaking special with my mom over the holidays, and I was like, it seems like the experts actually put in some work, you know, put together some thoughtful matches. And actually, you know, I'm rooting for these marriages. Like, I actually feel really hopeful about these seasons. I think they pick some good people. You know, of course, we'll see what happens. Because, you know, they're also pubbing the season as, like, the biggest drama and da-da-da-da. And, you know, how Lifetime is. But I really feel like there's some good potential with these people. So, and I really miss making these videos for you guys, doing these reviews, making this type of content. So I was like, you know what? Even though there's even more going on in my life than the last time I was doing this, I was like, I really want to make these videos and I really want to prioritize, you know, my content. So I'm planning to post on Fridays because your girl got a full-time job. So, you know, the videos will be up on Fridays. Make sure you turn your post notifications on so you can see when I post. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get into it. So this is going to be episodes 1 and 2 together. I'm going to give my first impressions of the couple. Do I feel like the experts, you know, did a good job? Any concerns or challenges I feel like they might face? And then, you know, we'll talk about the weddings. I mean, at this point, 3 out of 5 of them have been married. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, so we're going to start with Mark and Lindsey. Mark, seems like he has a great head on his shoulders. They call him Mark the Shark, or he calls himself Mark the Shark. He is really focused. I think he's in sales. He owns like 3 different gyms or something like that. He actually went through the Married at First Sight process the last time they were in Boston 4 years ago, and he was not selected. He was crushed, but he decided to try again. He has wanted to be married his whole life. He takes care of his mom and grandma, or I mean, they don't live with him. They seem like they live in other types of, you know, rehab facilities, but he is very close with his mom and grandma, but their health is not doing well right now. So, yeah, so he has that commitment on his shoulder. He also said that, like, I remember he said after like 6 to 8 months, he's like ready to move in with somebody, and he just hasn't found somebody that's really ready for marriage like he has been ready for his whole life. Lindsey is chaotic. She is a ball of energy, and Mark is very energetic too, but Lindsey's energy comes off very annoying to me. I'm not really feeling her like that. She is a nurse. She has that caring, genuine spirit, you know, caretaker spirit. She also was in a relationship where, well, she was engaged. She was about to get married. A couple days before the wedding, it got called off. But at the same time, she still doesn't seem like guarded or like weary of love. She's kind of embraced this process with open arms. She's like, what's the worst that could happen? I don't get married, you know? So she is still really hopeful about love. So Lindsey has her dad and her brother in her life, but she has a really rocky relationship with her mom. Seems like her parents were divorced, and then after that, like, her mother doesn't really speak to her. She invited her to the wedding, she did not come. So that's a sore spot for her. They put them together because they feel like, you know, her caring spirit is gonna understand Mark's situation with his family members. They both have cats. They're gonna have 5 cats between the 2 of them. And yeah, so just, they both are really committed to this process. At first I was worried a little bit about the attraction level, but as we saw at the wedding, I think he is attracted to her and I think she's attracted to him. But I was worried about that at first, just because both of them in their little interviews, they didn't really talk about what they, like, what physical features they wanted, so I wasn't really sure about that. I do think that this could be a good match. I do think though, like, he's gonna have to be the one to like rein her in, calm her down. She was already doing too much. After they got married, first of all, before the wedding, this girl, you could not, she was lit, okay? Like, she was lit. It was giving me Virginia, okay? It was giving Virginia because the girl was downing that champagne. She looked a mess. She was like moving just too crazy, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, why do y'all keep doing this? Why do y'all keep drinking so much before the wedding? Do y'all not want to remember the day? Like, relax, okay? It is not that serious. But yeah, at the wedding, and I mean, I guess, like I said, maybe it was just because she was lit, but like, I wish she would just let her, like, she would just think before she speaks. And even her family was like, you need to be more conscious of what you say and things like that. I wish she would just calm down. Not every thought that you think needs to be spoken out loud. So I think Mark is gonna, and she already was kind of like, I don't, you know, I am too much, but like, that's a good thing and stuff. And I'm happy that she's confident in herself and that, you know, she loves those qualities about herself. But I think they do need to be refined a little bit. And so hopefully Mark is able to tame her down. She's just a lot of energy. You know, after they got married, you could tell like she was like just talking his ear off, and Mark was just trying to take it with a grain of salt. I do think he's attracted to her, and I think, you know, that was all good and dandy, but her mouth, like, you gotta rein that in, girl. When they were taking pictures, you know, she was trying to figure out, like, is that your mom? Who is this? Da da da. And she was like, is that a tough situation? I'm like, why are y'all having this like semi-serious conversation while you're taking, you know, pictures? So I didn't really like that. But other than that, you know, I think she was pleased with what she got. I think she said that he was attractive. She said she didn't want, like, I think she had a preference on like the type of teeth he had or whatever. It seems like he had a great smile. She was pleased with that. So yeah, I think they look good together. I think Mark is going to take this process really seriously and just try to be the best man he can be. He already talked about how he like changed his work schedule up to just be, you know, to, I don't know, just arrange his schedule so that he can have more time in the evenings with his new wife. So that already shows me that he's somebody that takes, you know, things seriously. Lindsey was like, oh, this is great, because she said her last man wouldn't even like change his schedule for them to have dinner together. So it seems like they're both doing it for the right reasons. You know, I'm feeling hopeful about this match. So I'm gonna say that they're gonna stay together, because I think also they just look like, you know, they look like they could have met anywhere and that they could have been compatible, you know, in a different types of sense. Because they have that commitment of marriage, I think normally Mark would have like not liked all that she was doing. I really do. But I think that because they have that commitment of marriage, he is going to try to look outside and look inside her and make it work. So I'm going to give it a thumbs up. Okay, next we have Jasmina and Michael. Jasmina, first of all, is beautiful. She is an educator. She's 29. In her past, she's dealt with a lot of emotionally unavailable men. She said she feels like she's like the test dummy. You know, basically, you know, men are never really serious for her. They get serious for the next person after her. She said she's dealt with a lot of emotionally unavailable men, things of that nature. Even some cheating as well in the past. So, yeah, her family they didn't really seem to, I mean, they were happy for her, but they really didn't really show a lot of emotion when, you know, she got selected. Her mom, who's actually her stepmom, but like who, you know, basically adopted her, that whole story and everything really touched my heart because that was just like really beautiful. So I'm really happy that she has her mom supporting her. Her mom was very much like, I mean, I'm happy for you, but like, we don't know who this person is, which was like, you know, a healthy level of skepticism. So, but other than that, she has, you know, a lot of family. She said she has a lot of siblings. She wants to be a role model for her siblings, for her sister specifically, blah, blah, blah. Then we have Michael. Michael, that story touched my heart too. He has experienced a lot of loss. He lost his dad when he was 13, lost his mom when he was 20, lost his brother. So it's basically like him and his 4 sisters. Yeah. He's Haitian, you know. He has a close relationship with his sisters. I think, he's a personal trainer. This is what I think about Michael. Michael, he has a very close community with him as well, and they've all told him like, you need to work on being vulnerable, you need to work on compromise. So I mean, if it's a recurring theme like that your family is saying this and this and that, it doesn't give me you're ready for marriage. It doesn't give me you're ready for somebody like Jasmina either. He also seems like he is just very in his head, very, you know, overthinker. After he was picked and at the, you know, bachelor party, he just was a ball of nerves, which, I mean, everybody is a ball of nerves, but he was just like really going through it in his head. And you could just tell he thinks really deeply about things. And I hope that he is able to, my worry for them is that he's not going to be able to communicate his emotions in the way that Jasmina needs. She said she's dealt with emotionally unavailable men, so she needs somebody that's going to be able to communicate well. It doesn't seem like Michael has experience in long-term relationships. He said that he's like, you know, when he's dated in the past, he's been with women and then like they've been great, you know, they have potential, but like he'll just kind of fixate on one little thing and then kind of, you know, stop dating them after that. So obviously this is a process. I don't think he's gonna do that. You know, I think he's more committed, but at the same time, I just really hope he gives himself a chance and is, you know, as soon as he finds out something he doesn't like, he's like, doesn't shut down. He just seems like the type to shut down, and she doesn't need that. She really doesn't. She needs somebody that's gonna talk things out with her, But I really like them both individually, but I don't know about this match. I don't know about this match, but I really want it to work out because I like them individually. He also said being vulnerable is new to me, and it's like, this is already an accelerated process, you know, like this is 2 months. You really, if you don't have a lot of experience being vulnerable, like this is gonna be hard for you. And like I said, he's just too in his head. I do think though, like, you know, he grew up with his, you know, siblings. He has, you know, insight into how women work, and I think, you know, his sisters were so happy for him when they thought like he was gonna drop out of the show or whatever. They were like, no, like we think you should do it, So I think he has a good support system. Their wedding was a little awkward. At the last minute, Jasmina started pulling out all the dramatics. She was like, I'm not gonna cry. And then she was like, she lost it. But, you know, their vows, I really like their vows. He was like, I'm gonna find the reason, you know, why we were paired. And, yeah, it was really nice. So I'm gonna give this marriage a thumbs up as well. If, you know, Michael can do the work he needs to do. Right now, I don't know. It's looking like a no, but I hope that by the end of the season, they'll get to where they need to be. Like I said, I really like them and I really want it to work out. So I'm going to say, yes, they're going to stay married. All right, so let's get into Steve and Noi. So Steve, he just got back from a 4-month road trip He was laid off from his job and then decided to just like take that time to independently travel, just live out of his car, da 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 da. He comes from a really big family. His parents, or not his parents, his grandparents and some other people in his family also were product of arranged marriages. So he's really open to the process. He's the last out of his siblings not to be married. He really wants to start a family. And that's kind of like all he says. He doesn't really talk about like what he wants to offer a partnership. He's very big on like, I want to start a family. I want to start a family. You know, so I always get weary about that because I also want to hear about, you know, what do you want in a partner versus like, I just want somebody to start a family with. But yeah, I think he's like really attractive. I think he looks good. He, you know, he's very put together. Like he looks good. Noi is, she comes from very humble beginnings. She was born in a refugee camp. Her parents, a refugee camp in Laos. She got a lot of siblings too. She has a good example of her parents' marriage, and she really wants that in her life. To me, this is my problem with Noi. I think she lacks discernment because I think she like falls in and out of love easily. She said she's, you know, traveled the world for love. You know, she went to UK, she went to Mexico. It seems like it was giving 90 Day Fiance a little bit. And I don't know, I wasn't getting good vibes from that. I like that she's so hopeful about love, but you gotta be also making good decisions as well. They didn't really get too much into those relationships though, so I don't want to judge her too much, but I didn't really, they were trying to like make it seem like it's, you know, she takes risks for love and everything, but it's giving, I don't know, it didn't impress me. So anyways, they put them together because, you know, they're both family oriented. They are both adventurous. Da, 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 da. So the biggest thing with Steve is that he doesn't have a job. But I really don't think Noi is going to mind. I think that he's employable. It's not like he can't work. He's choosing not to work. It seems like he's acting like, you know, when the right opportunity comes along, I'll go back to work. It doesn't seem like he has a plan. It doesn't seem like he's pressed to go work. And I mean, I get it, you know, but at the end of the day, I mean, I can understand why that's not a quality that, you know, you would want, you know, if you're marrying a stranger, like, okay, this person doesn't have a job. But I think that she's not going to mind because she just kind of seems a little bit like, I don't know, in La La Land, fairy tale. I don't know. She seems like the most naive about everything to me. So I just like feel like she's not going to mind. But he does need to, you know, be making a plan, I think. But yeah, with this marriage, so they didn't get married in this episode, but they showed them getting ready. They showed, you know, the nice encouraging messages that she was getting from her mom. I think it's really beautiful that, you know, she has her mom and her parents to look up to. Her friends seem really supportive too. So does his friends and his family. So I think that they're going to get along just fine. But I also... So then there's this whole like alter ego she has, Noisy. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm kind of up in the air about these people. I think on paper they look good, but we'll just have to see. So for now, I'm gonna give it a thumbs up, but we'll just see. All right, next we have Olujuwan and Katina. Katina, she reminds me a lot of Jasmina. They've kind of dealt with a lot of like, you know, BS from past men. She's, you know, they said she was a party girl. She was, you know, out and about, but she said she's ready to put that life behind her. She wanted Netflix and chill with her husband. She want to be home. She don't want to do the partying no more. She, you know, she is ready to settle down. She's ready to start a family. She didn't really have good examples of, you know, marriage growing up. She said her father was incarcerated, so she doesn't really, you know, have a relationship with him. She didn't even have anybody to walk her down the aisle. I kind of felt bad about that. Like, not even like an uncle, a brother, something. But yeah, she has dealt with a lot of cheating in the past, feeling like she can't, open up because she doesn't know if she's like the only, woman. And that, I mean, that's real. I really hope she's dealt with that and that, she's ready to be fully into this next relationship. But then again, Olujuwan is a cheater himself. So, Olujuwan, okay, so Olujuwan, so I really do want to believe the game he's talking. He basically said, he was a player. He used to go by Isaac, and he used to run around, play a game on women, be selfish. He has cheated in the past, But he said he's taken the last 2 years to himself. He's getting focused. He's, ready to be committed, ready for love, He even said at the bachelor party, he's not even like, concerned about, sex or anything like that. He really wants to get to know his wife. I think that is sincere. I do. I do have some reservations just because I feel like, players, they talk that talk, but have you walked that walk? You said you did the work, but you haven't been in a relationship in the last 2 years to really show me that you're ready to be faithful, you're ready to be committed to one person. Also feel like he has unrealistic expectations about what a wife does. He's talking about she need to be cooking, she need to be doing that. And it's like, I hate when men are just like, she needs to be doing this, she needs to be doing that. And even when he was talking to Pastor Cal, it wasn't like he was taking accountability he was, but he wasn't. And it's just like, he was just saying like what the women in the past that he's been dating have done wrong. But he did acknowledge his own shortcomings, but when it came to the dating history, he was really just talking about what the women have done. And it's like, okay, you got to take some accountability for that as well. So that's my thing with the Olujuwan. He does look like he has a great support system and family, people that are ready to call him out on his, bullshit. He, that sister-in-law, she was like, yeah, like it needs to be like we're cooking together. She was very quick to humble him, very quick to give good advice. So it seems like, he has a good circle around him. Also with Olujuwan, he also I think he knows he's done girls dirty. Cause he's like, he even said something about like, karma, what goes around comes back around. And like, I feel like God has forgiven my sins. So like, I think he really wants a fresh start, but he's also scared that his past might, come back to, haunt him. So I just really hope that he's actually done the work and that he is ready to love Katina. At the wedding, he was really attracted to her. He said one of his fears was that she wasn't, gonna like what he saw. And I think that also just stems from, or he said one of his fears was that she wasn't gonna like what she saw, like in him. And I think that all comes from like probably feeling like, a little unworthy, feeling like, I've done a lot of bad, what if this comes back to bite me in the butt, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, because he complimented her and she didn't like compliment him back. And he was like, I don't know, do you like what you see? It's like, stop fishing for the compliments. It's like, it's a lot going on, let her just take in the room and like take in the situation. Like she's just trying to fill you out, you don't got to say nothing. So I think he's just really anxious. I mean, he even like cried and broke down right before the wedding. So she didn't cry. Katina was a boss. She, stayed down. The vows were really beautiful. I think his vows were a little bit too much. I can't wait to grow old with you. Skirt, like, let's, we got baby steps. We are still strangers. But I think, I think he said some really good stuff. I think he said some really sweet stuff. After, I think he was just laying it on way too thick. Like, he was like, I'm going to protect you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And I just think he's like really eager. I think he's really eager for this fresh start and really eager to prove himself that he's not the same guy. But you really gotta just pace yourself, okay? Like I think he's like overwhelming her and she's just like trying to take it all in. And you need to be just asking her questions. Like, let's get to know each other. This is a first date, essentially. So you need to kind of, don't be making all these empty promises that you're not going to be able to keep, that you don't know if you're going to be able to keep. Like, why don't you just focus on getting to know the person in front of you before you start saying all of this? You know what I'm saying? And I know coming from, like, I would think like that's insincere because like you don't even know me to be saying these things. So just relax, Olujuwan. I want to say yes to these people, but I feel like after she finds out maybe about his past, she might not really, like what she hears. And I think he's still, also, did y'all see how this man was acting at the bachelor party? This man was really trying to, just, go to the last minute with his singleness. It's like, yo, relax. Like, he was doing too much. Like, they were even having to blur it out. So that was too much. But anyways, regardless, I don't know. I do like them individually. But I don't know if this is the best match. I do like Katina, and because I like Katina, I'm going to say yes. I hope that Olujuwan isn't just talking the talk. And I also hope that she gives him a chance. I hope that she gives him a chance, I hope that he is actually changed. But we'll see. I'm still kind of on the fence. At this point, I've said yes to everybody. I don't know. Somebody obviously isn't going to stay together. So, I don't know. All right, last we have Alyssa and Chris. I left them for last because they're really boring to me. I don't really have too much to say about them. So with Chris, his little tagline is the serial monogamous. I can't say that word. He is in a lot of long-term relationships and he wants marriage, but he never seems to find the right person. Again, giving me doesn't have discernment, cannot make good decisions. Talking about if I like a girl at the bar and I'm attracted to her, I'll just go talk to her. And it seems like you just jump in the relationship with her when you really need to be thinking about, like, does her values align with my values? Is this the right partner for me? Are our goals align? Another thing that he said that kind of threw me off was like, when he was tuck shopping or whatever, he was like, I want her to think that, I have it put together, like I'm professional, da-da-da-da. It's almost like he looks like, as the marriage as like a business deal, which, marriages can be like that, but it doesn't seem like he doesn't talk about the emotional side of marriage. He just talks about like, I hope we look good together. I hope, we can grow, be better. I want a relationship that other people look at and they're like, we want to be like them. It just doesn't seem like he's in it for the right reasons to me. When I was first watching the matchmaking special, I liked, he's a real estate agent. He got a vision board. He's organized. He has a cage for a dog, but he doesn't even have a dog. That's a little weird. But I liked him, but I don't know if he's the right person for this show or for even Alyssa. Alyssa, she loves animals. She rescues dogs. She was in a long-term relationship too. She said that they was even going ring shopping and, then all of a sudden he broke up with her out of nowhere. She basically said that she feels like she manifested, this opportunity. She was saying she wanted to be married. So not too much to say about her. At the bachelorette party, she was acting very, stuck up in the corner, just acting bougie, which I get it. If she's reserved, but I'm like, you got to loosen up. She just seems very type A. She brought her own 10 wedding gowns. I'm like, girl, are you crazy? She's very specific. She says she wants him to be country, da-da-da. And it's like, I hope she's communicated that to the experts, but at the end of the day, if you are that picky, this is not the show for you. We already know that. We've been down this road before. She wants to wear gold boots to the wedding. Yeah, I don't know. They just, seem like regular of the mill people compared to everybody else who has like a little bit more of an interesting backstory to me. So yeah, this match, I don't think it's going to work out. I just don't think they want it for the right reasons. Maybe Alyssa does, but Chris, I don't really think he's here for the right reasons. I think he just feels like this is the next step because I've been in relationship after relationship. I need to be married at this point. So yeah, his mom wasn't too thrilled about this. She was like, boy, what are you doing? So yeah, her family was a little bit more supportive. We haven't seen them get married yet. And then the preview is alluding me to believe that there's going to be drama between them, that she's not going to like him. He seems a little passive in his communication patterns. That's just like the vibe I'm getting. So I'm not supporting this one. This is my first thumbs down. So I basically said everybody was going to stay together except for them. And I know I'll probably be wrong, but yeah. Anyways, I'm anxious to see, how the season will play out because I do feel good, but you just never know with Married at First Sight. Like, things can go left at any moment. All right, y'all, that's the end of the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Who do you feel like, is going to stay together? What do you guys feel about the wedding so far? Do you guys feel like these singles were ready to get married? Talk to me in the comments. I comment back, and I will see y'all next week. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.